Hello. All right, there we go.
Oh my gosh. Hello,
All right, you're on there,
everybody.
baby.
Oh yeah, and I just got whoa. I'm hearing things in my earphones.
Sorry, we had a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
Oh, so Linda. Linda, I see you've been posting a lot of scary stuff up there on your channel from your area.
And from everywhere around the world. I decided to treat everybody to, hi Aaron, everyone to their own 5 scariest places or haunted places, Australia, Belgium, around the world. I haven't got them all up yet, but I got some of them up. I thought, might as well treat the people that I talk to most, Hey, I cracked myself up literally, didn't I?
I think well, you get to laughing and crying. That's when it's really going to look good because it'll start having like these natural like runs. Everyone got to fire up.
Oh, that was too thick. I don't know. I don't care. Catnip reporting live. How you doing? I'm not even watching the YouTube chat because that's way faster than this chat. See, I finally did it, guys. I cracked myself up.
Take a shot every time she says that.
You're so proud of that.
I am.
What? Count how many times?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That should be a contest. It's like guessing how many jelly beans are in the jar, Yeah,
if you got them, light them up. If you got them, suck them down. That's what you call them. Oh, dry drinker. I'm a dry drinker. I am a hot mess, dude. It's been a heck of a day. It's been a heck of a 24 hours, really, for me, because I got a lot really going on. And I can't wait to share it with you, but I'm not going to do it now. So all you people out there, suck it. No, I'm like kidding. I'm like kidding. How is everybody doing?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, dude.
Is everybody ready for Halloween? I am. I'm ecstatic. I love Halloween.
Me too. I cannot wait.
I love it. And the leaves are starting to change. It's starting to get cool and dark out early. And God, you just look so pretty, Denise. Yes.
What?
Right? You look pretty.
What is happening? Oh, thank you.
I mean, look,
thank you, darling.
This is low budget everything here when it comes on my end. So, Well,
I planned on doing more, but the dog got loose, and that was the end of that. So,
I thought I'd have everything on the way I wanted to, but instead I walked in the door at 6:00, and I was supposed to be on here with you at 6:00. So my daughter just and then threw on some fake lashes, and that's it.
You are good.
Yeah, I don't care. I should have just came on as myself. You know what I'm saying? I should have actually just woke up in the morning and said, "Hey, don't let my costume scare you. This is what a hangover looks like, and it cost me $100 to get it like this." That's what I said when I walked in the store today. My makeup was all under my eyes from doing all this makeup and stuff me and George have been doing. She was pretty good at it, but I rushed her tonight really bad. Anyway,
I see someone special in chat that belongs to Awen.
It is.
Well, I can't.
I'm excited she's here.
Who is Mira?
Hope she's feeling better.
Mira is my daughter who's just been home from the hospital after having some emergency surgery. So she's home with me recuperating and getting her wound dressing changed a couple times a day. It's been a little hairy, but we got it.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
she's been home over a week now, right?
Yep.
About a week and a half. That's awesome.
Well, welcome, Mara. I'm very glad you're here and that you are recuperating and you have a wonderful mother who takes care of you.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
Mira, that's funny that you say that because one time I messaged your mom and I listed like 6 names. I'm like, whoever she is today, how is she doing? Because girl, you got the nicknames.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm lighting it up.
Yeah,
I
Linda
can't
was
believe I'm
talking
so-
about Bewitched earlier, and I
Yes,
wanted to
Mhm.
name Mira Tabitha.
I love that name.
As soon as I had a daughter, all growing up, I said her name is going to be Tabitha, but her dad wouldn't let me, and I was very sad because she should be Tabitha. So there's
Well, we
another
can
name.
just start calling her that too. How about that?
We'll call
Hey,
her.
Rhonda, how are you?
Yeah, hi, Rhonda, sweetie. Missed you. Miss you guys. I've missed you guys because I was really so sick that I thought I was gonna die, you guys. I really did.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
did too.
I thought, well, maybe Linda needs to go to the doctor. That's how sick I was. And we all know that Linda don't like the
Right?
doctor. I was that sick. But I am alive, and as you can see, my unstable self, as always. Hang on 1 minute.
We almost got a road trip together to come and get you, Linda, because we were that worried about you. We were going to kidnap you and
Yeah.
take you to the ER.
I know. I told Georgia, I was talking to Georgia one day. I was like, listen, if she doesn't go to the doctor, I am on my way, and I will be really pissed if I have to drive all the way up there.
I think Linda's gone.
No, I'm not gone.
There she is.
My mother was talking to me. I'm sorry. And she said, Linda, I just came in to see your face. And I said, oh, she goes, oh, so you're a crackhead. My mother's 77 years old. So yeah, I'm a crackhead.
That's
Anyway,
funny.
yeah.
So I invited Awen to come talk about Salem, Massachusetts, because I dig things that are like haunted and maybe paranormal, and have certain like superstitions almost around them.
Somebody's
So
talking.
I was talking to Awen before this, and I know very little about it. I know basically like the I guess what you would call like the mainstream media version of the area and the history. And for those of you that don't know, Awen lived there for a while, and so she's kind of got some inside scoop and knows more than the rest of us or about the history and what it's actually like to be there. So we're gonna open the floor to Awen and just let her educate us. And if we have questions, type them in chat and tag one of us. And Linda and I obviously have questions too. So Awen, the floor is yours, my dear.
All right. Well, the Salem witch trials. This is something that's fascinated me since I was a little girl, long before I ever moved to Salem. When I was there in 1992, they opened a memorial for the tercentenary event, and I got to take part in the memorial. And our group, my little witchy group, we each had one of the stones. There's a stone laid like a stone bench put in a memorial site for each one of the 19 people that were killed. And we each got to take one of the stones and read out the engraving on the stone for the memorial event. And it was fascinating because I got to take part in a piece of history that will now be there forever. So that was great. But we did get to learn a lot about the Salem witch trials and what happened. Now, we all know the basic story, right? There was the big witch hunt hysteria, and people were calling everybody else a witch, and people were getting hanged and thrown in prison. 200 people were actually accused of witchcraft. 19 were killed, 18 were hanged, and one was crushed to death with stones. So it's horrifying to think that this happened. But when we start to look at the underlying causes, people are, well, how did it start? And there's so many different stories about how it started. The best cause that we can know now, through all these years later, is that there was a fungus, right, that's found commonly in rye and other grains caused by ergot. And that caused a lot of these young girls to suffer from something called convulsive ergotism, which it's a hallucinogen, gives them LSD-like effects, right? So there they are, they're eating their bread or whatever, and then a couple hours later, they start dancing around like crazy people and vertigo and all kinds of crazy sensations on the skin, like something's crawling under their skin, and they just get crazy, right? Like they're on LSD. And the belief nowadays is that's what started this. But they didn't have any understanding of it. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know anything about this sort of particular disease. And so they just said, oh, it must be the witches. Because remember, these are Puritans, and they practice Calvinism, a very, very rigid religion. And they were extremely superstitious. Remember, they're coming over from England and areas like that where they had witch burnings for centuries, right? So this is not something new to them. And they believed that was what happened here. Somebody must have brought witchcraft over. And of course, Tituba, the black slave, gets blamed for a lot of it because, of course, and it just spiraled totally out of control. But it wasn't simply a matter of this witch hunt hysteria. There was a lot of political things going on at the time. And most of the witch hunts, the whole, accusations and things like that took place in other towns around Salem, like Danvers and Andover. They're not mentioned so much in the mainstream media version of the story, but most of it happened outside of Salem. Right? And of course, back then there was Salem, the town, but then there was also Salem Village, which was a much smaller little enclave of agricultural type focused society. And that's where a lot of these people were from, was actually Salem Village. But now you can go to Salem, you can tour the Witchcraft History Museum, which talks about this a lot. You can go to the hill where people were actually hung. The tree is still there, at least according to legend. It's the same tree. We don't know that for sure, but we can assume it's a giant, old, scary-looking tree. So there's a lot of tactical history. You can go and see these places. Some of the homes were actually preserved. You can walk into the homes of the people who were killed as witches. And so you can get a very hands-on feel for what this might have been like back then. And it's terrifying. So it's a good topic to cover, especially this time of year, because we have Salem, we got the witches, we got all of this spooky stuff going on. But we can't overlook the political aspect of this, the lack of knowledge, because they didn't understand the medicine at the time, and all the other factors that went into it. It created a perfect storm that allowed for 19 people to be murdered, accused of witchcraft. And later, we even have the pastor, Cotton Mathers, and some of the judges saying, oops, my bad. They weren't actually witches. Sorry. And that just adds to the terror of it, how quickly this can spread and be wrong, and everyone just let it go. So, yeah, that's my take on the Salem witch trials.
Well, that's
now, are those houses
gossip.
that they lived in, are they like haunted? Does anybody have any experiences there?
Well, I've been to all of them, of course, because this is my thing. And they are creepy as the creepiest thing I've ever experienced. But I didn't see any ghosts or, hear anything. But I felt incredible. I could not wait to get out of these buildings. Now, these buildings were moved to certain areas from their original location, but they are the actual original homes. And it's terrifying to go inside them. It really is.
God bless America.
Well, that's gossip gone wrong, ain't it?
Right? Exactly.
I mean, thank God they don't do that stuff anymore, because I think we'd have a lot of haze going on and burnings or whatever they did. That's absolutely terrible that it was actually some food. It's very fascinating. Thank you. I love learning. And that is something I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. Like
because mainstream tells you they just like one day woke up dancing,
right?
Like they were dancing, whatever, and it's like, are you sure?
Yeah, well, they might have been dancing. If you took LSD, you might get up and dance. So
right, you might shake your tail feather. You never know.
Yeah. And Rhonda, Salem is about half an hour north of Boston on the coast, so pretty close. But no current witch hunts happening. Probably good.
No, this way. I can't look at myself and do that. There you go. Yeah. Well, St. Augustine, Florida. I used to live there, St. Augustine Beach, Florida, and that is a very old and haunted place. Mm-hmm. And it's been on the lighthouse. I have been there, and I have experienced the two children playing by the tree. I actually seen them. I had a girlfriend that was like, there's a big oak tree, and it's right in the little park area that they had for the two girls, for his family to play. Okay. And they had two girls that played there all the time. And it's nighttime. You don't use no flash on your, cameras. You just take pictures, Well, I was doing that. And of course, I'm seeing orbs and things like that, and even colored ones, which was really cool. But I'm looking down at the ground, and I'm trying to walk towards my girlfriend who's on the other side of this big tree. And they just got done telling us that these two little girls would play in this little area right there by the tree. And I'm looking down, and then I look up to see if my friend Margot is on the other side, and she's looking at me, and she's pointing, and I'm pointing. So we're pointing at each other at the two girls that are down playing T. They had little white, like fluffy, kind of, old clothes, button up shoes, the kind with the buttons on them, but they had to use a hook, and they were playing T, and they had curls in their hair and big old bow, and it was just like, I was going, do you? And she goes, do you? And I said, yeah. And we tried to take a picture, and it was gone. So I don't know if they would have showed up in a picture or not, but when we got off of the tour, little, trolley, and we stepped down in that ground before we even started talking, I am very in tune to things like that. And I start hearing the voices, people chatter. That's what I hear when I go into a cemetery, is chattering, and I started hearing it, and I'm looking around, and I ain't seeing nothing, but my hairs are standing up on these, on me, and I'm getting cold breezes going through me and certain areas that I was walking, you know what I mean? And I went to walk into the lighthouse, and this is dark. It's nighttime. It's a ghost tour. You know what I'm saying? So you're thinking, well, they're putting some things on, you know what I mean? Anyway, I went to go in there, and it was so freezing cold that, I was like, somebody stuck me in a freezer that I had been standing in for like an hour. Okay. And I could not walk in there. My heart was beating so fast. I could not walk in there. I almost started crying. That's how much like overwhelmness or whatever I was feeling. So I couldn't even step into it to walk in there. It was just too overpowering for me. The feeling I got with them, whatever I was getting there, I didn't like it. And St. Augustine is also the same spot in their jail, which is haunted, where they have a big bench outside, and they got this big sheriff. There's a big cement stage, he's got a cowboy hat on, his legs crossed, he's got his arm on the bench. I was getting my picture taken with this guy. Every time they took a picture of me, the guy was not there. Every single time. Everybody else, he was there. I went so far as to sit on his lap. Okay. I sat on his lap, put my arm around him. She took a picture. I look at the picture. All I am is looking like I'm levitated in the air.
Huh.
And now, which I will never buy another Apple phone ever in my life, ever, because of this. I cannot even turn it on. Can't get anything off of it. And I didn't put anything on my iTunes when I got back. So I don't have any of that pictures or anything from any of my tours out there, which I took some really cool tours out there, but nothing. Even my footage of the whatever launching pad or whatever thing that was going on, like I got 20 minutes of film on that, which was really cool to look at. I don't have any of it. I don't know how to even get it off. So I'm kind of, it was the first iPhone you ever could get, iPhone 8 or whatever. So yeah, kind of outdated. But that was
Rhonda says there was a series on Week called Salem. Did you watch that? And she wants to know how realistic it would be to the real history.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to look for it now.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Because I feel like now that, like I've not been there, but I get the impression that it's very commercialized now. So I wonder, does that take away from the actual history, like the commercialization and like the tourist trap in a sense? Does that take away from the actual history and just kind of put out there?
Actually, it's kind of the opposite.
Does that make sense?
Yep. The way Salem is right now, it's incredibly respectful of this history. And when you go on the tours about the witch trials, which bring you to some of the homes and the memorial site and things like that, it's extremely respectful. The touristy trap stuff doesn't really seem to tie into it. Even the Witchcraft Museum, it's really not like a tourist trap, you know. It doesn't have that same kind of
Good.
feel. The vibe is very, very honorific of the victims, and that's great. You know, that was something I really liked about it. Yes, the haunted tours go to all the, you know, the really spooky stuff, but there's just an air of respect for it, I think, which is amazing to see,
Good.
especially
Yeah.
given how touristy that town is today.
Right. And that's what I was getting at. It just seems like, especially now, and because I've been looking into some, like, you know, my Google searches, and I get, you know, these ads, and it's constant, you know, it's just commercialized stuff for there. And that's, you know, great that they can, you know, get the traffic and the money and whatever. That's great for their community. I was just wondering, you know, the respect level, which you seem to say is good. Now, didn't you also say there was it was your boss or somebody, you went in his house and you were like, oh hell no, I'm out. Was that was that the only like really uncomfortable experience you had there? Or did you have a few more?
Most of Salem was uncomfortable for me like that, to be honest.
I got you.
Um,
Fair enough.
yeah, because it's such an old town. Um,
Yeah, old
Everything
towns.
there is just old. All of the homes in Salem have been there for at least 100 years. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ones in the Salem proper, and every time we went to someone's home or looked for a new apartment or something, I always had that feeling of, we're not alone here. You know, it's like you
yeah.
couldn't escape it within the city limits, and it was hard. There was a little pub that we used to go to. Every weekend after we closed the shop, right across the street. Gorgeous little pub, you know, with leather sofas and a fireplace and dartboards, and we hang out and play darts. But even there, I couldn't relax because it always felt like, uh, something's here, you know. So
Yeah.
the whole town is like that.
That's the way St. Augustine felt too, because it's, you know, it's the oldest city in the continental United States, and you walk down those streets and you go into some of them really old, like the old schoolhouse, or some of them cemeteries that have, you know, 16 something and 17 something grave sites. You know, it is, to me, I love the history of things like that. I just do. You know, and to hear that they respect what went on now, because they realize it wasn't, you know,
Right.
some freak thing, and it was, you know, a lot of people lost their lives for no reason. That's, I think, is really a good thing. I do.
Yeah.
You know, I really do, because
Yeah.
they're
The modern touristy stuff in Salem is all about the modern witchcraft stuff, all the witchy stores and all that, because there's everything you could ever want about witchcraft is in Salem. And that's what all the touristy stuff is geared for. All of the historical stuff seems to be on a whole different level. And I like that they've kind of kept that balance.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's has stuff like that in, you know, in their town and whatnot and whatever, but not everybody can experience certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It is, you know, like, I don't like the feeling I get when I go into a cemetery. That's why I don't go into them very often, because it's actually, I feel like it's a bunch of backroom chatter, you know, like I hear things like that, you know, and it's an uncomfortable feeling for me. Everybody says, well, you shouldn't feel that way, because maybe you should tap into that and see if you can hear things or whatever. I figured I don't know how to tap into anything. Okay. Let's put it that way. But if somebody started talking to me or something, you know, I mean, that'd be kind of freaky, wouldn't you think? I mean, I would freak out. I would freak out.
Yep. It
I
happened a
literally
lot.
would.
I mean, I'd even be at work, and the place that we had the store, the second place where we moved it to, was a very old building, and I'd be like, you know, playing behind the counter, doing whatever, and hear somebody come in, and I'd say, hi, how are you today? And look up, and there's nobody there. That must have happened 3 or 4 times a day. You know, it's like, all right, enough. You know, it just, you were never alone anywhere in that town. It was really creepy. And I'd like to say I got used to it after a while, but you don't really get used to it, because, you know, the hair goes up in the back of your neck and you get goosebumps. You're like, oh, something's here. You just get more aware of it, but you don't ever really get used to it.
Now let me ask you this. I guess this is more personal in a sense, but like when you moved from there and went and like, I don't know how you ended up in Texas, and that's not my business, but like any place in Texas that you've been, have you had like some oh hell no moments? You know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you get anything creepy like where you are now?
When we first moved into this
Does that
apartment,
make sense?
I felt like there was something
Yeah.
here. So we did a big cleansing and everything, and we have felt perfectly fine ever since.
I always do that.
Yeah, there was
Always
one
sage.
place
Always sage.
in the stockyards. We went shopping down to the stockyards one day, and there was this one store. I don't know what the building was. I don't know how old it was, but I didn't even want to shop. I was like, nope, I'm out. And I just walked out of the store. My husband's like, but they have cool stuff. I'm like, I don't care what's in there. I'm not going in that building, you know?
Yep.
But that's really
That's
the
how I
only
felt.
place in Texas that I felt that. So far. I
That's how I
haven't
felt
looked
at the
for
White
haunted
House.
places though, so I might start doing that.
There's a few, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, because like I said on my channel, I'm giving everybody like, little Halloween, whatever it is, from their state. Or Evan, I ain't doing all 52 states, sorry. But I want to tell you something, Denise. Your state, woo-hoo-hoo, girl, you got a lot of
Oh,
stuff
I
going
know.
on in there. Oh yeah.
I
I'm
tell you
telling
what,
you,
it's
some of
pretty
that
cool
shit I
around
read.
here.
Woo, some of that shit I read, I was like, man, I'm going there. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there because I will check out everything that is like that. Okay, because I have no fear because I don't believe that they're here to hurt us. And if they are, well, I'm gonna have to get exercised or whatever that's called. And you know
Don't
what I
even
mean.
bring that up. That
I,
happened here. Mm-mm.
I don't believe in really the evil part of it. I think they're just people that are not convinced they're dead, or they don't know how to get over or whatever. That's what I think. They're just not ready or something. I don't know, but I don't believe that they're here to harm me. And if you go there and tell them you're not there to harm them, if you get lucky enough to talk to one or whatever. But I'll tell you what, I go into a place, they say, oh, we hear things around here. I say, well, you know what? When you hear that noise, you just tell them, go to the light, honey. Go to the light. Your family's waiting for you. I always, like Sylvia Brown used to say, go to the light, So I do too. But when I move into a place, I give tobacco to the tree and I sage every room. And I sit there with my crystals and I just, wants good stuff to happen because I don't, because I lived in a haunted house when I was small. And I think you guys have heard the story.
Yeah.
But anyway, that I don't ever want to happen to any of my grandchildren or to me ever again. That is way too scary. I to this day.
In Salem, England, did you encounter anything that was like, I don't want to say like demonic, that's a little extreme, but anything that felt like evil or extra scary? I don't even know the word to use, but do you get where I'm going with this?
There was one negative entity that I'll call it. Most are just like Linda said.
There we go.
You sense a presence. It doesn't feel like it's antagonistic. It's just there, and you just happen to witness it being stuck there. But there was one. My girlfriend Marie had an apartment, and we were sitting there on the couch one day. I had just come in, dropped down my purse, sat down, and looked towards the kitchen and saw like this man's face from his nose up with a trilby hat on sticking out from around the kitchen. I was like, oh, who's here? I thought you lived alone. She's like, what? Nobody lives here. Of course I'm alone. I'm like, then who's in the kitchen? And she's like, nobody's in the kitchen. And I'm like, dude, who's the guy in the kitchen? So we went in the kitchen. Of course, nobody's there. And I didn't think too much about it. But then when we left the apartment, she was on the 3rd floor. And when you got outside, I felt this like I was terrified to go down the stairs. I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And so I would grip that railing like with an iron grip and go down. And many people have been pushed down those stairs.
That's why.
So,
that's why you didn't want to go down it. I was just going to say, anybody, because see, I experienced that too in an old house once. I walked in it and I was, we went upstairs, no problem, right? But when I came to go down it, I looked at the stairway and I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't go down there. So I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna fall. That's what I thought. I'm gonna fall. And then I sat on my butt. I'm a chicken. I sat on my butt and went down the stairs. Okay, because I figured if I'm gonna fall, it's not gonna be that hard, right?
Right.
And then my friend goes, "What is the matter with you?" I said, I felt like I was gonna fall down the stairs. And the lady whose apartment was right there underneath, because it was a duplex thing, and she said, "Oh, well, the lady that lived up there before fell down and broke her neck." I was like, wow, okay. I felt like if I stepped on them steps and went down, something was going to happen.
Yep.
I just had that bad feeling. And I don't get that a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I should pay attention to some of the things, but I don't really feel that way. Like definitely scared to death. Like the lighthouse, definitely scared to death to walk in there, and definitely scared to death to walk down those stairs. So yeah, I can relate to that one, A1.
Yep, that's exactly how I felt. And Marie was like, "What is wrong with you?" And I said, "I don't know. I feel like I can't." She's like, "Oh yeah, well I did hear a story about someone said the ghost used to push them down the stairs, so they moved." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you could have told me that before I came up here." You know?
Yeah, I wish somebody would have told me somebody broke their neck down there before. I really
Yeah,
definitely would, you know?
that was a
Oh,
very
yeah.
creepy apartment. I didn't like that building. The
I,
fire alarm would go off all the time for no reason, and it was just creepy. So
well, I mean, isn't that strange though, how you get that feeling and then you find out that the feeling you were having is a real feeling
right,
because it happened? You know what I mean? Like you didn't know it before, and
right.
I didn't know it until I got down the stairs. And my friend's looking at me like I'm cuckoo. You know what I mean? What's the
Hmm.
matter with you, Linda? You know what I mean? And I mean, seriously. And I'm not a scared person. So when
Yep.
everybody was on that tour with me, they were like, Linda, what is the matter? I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going in there. I'm not going. And I started to cry. You know, I was like, I can't, you know, you guys go ahead. They're like, what the hell is the matter with her? You know what I mean? She drinking? They know I'm not, you know, but I mean, it
Yeah.
was just like really strange behavior for me
When we
because I'm
started ghost
usually
hunting,
adventurous.
one of the first things that I learned was to listen to that feeling. As crazy as it sounds, why on earth would I be afraid of going down these stairs? But I was terrified, so I listened to it and was super careful. And the more you listen to that and trust it, the more accurate it's going to be. So I
I did it.
learned from all of our ghost hunting in Salem that if I had that kind of feeling in a property, we were gone. That was it.
Yep.
Something we couldn't handle was there, and it was time to
That's
go.
how I felt at the Morsemill Hotel. Like where we parked like in the front of the house. Because from the front, it looks like this huge, like shotgun house, which is basically what it is. But, you know, we parked right there in the front, which is literally in like a residential neighborhood. Like there's like houses next door. It's fucking bizarre. So we get out, and me and Wayne are kind of walking around. Like the first time I went, I didn't get out of the car, just drove by or whatever. But when me and Wayne went, was the weekend before this, last weekend, whatever. We got out and we were walking around, and as it came down the one side by like where the little general store was, that's where my phone went off by itself, and I had chills and I was uncomfortable. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm like, I'm going to a different spot, and then it was fine. And then when we went to the Lent Mansion, like that place didn't bother me at all. But I have these pictures of Wayne, and his arms are like this, and he's like, he's got his back against the wall. He's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking be here. Like, get me out of here. Like he was uncomfortable the whole time. He was uncomfortable in the gift shop. He was uncomfortable eating the good food. Like, and I was like, oh, this place is chill to me. I don't know. So I get the whole like when you get a feeling, like trust it, because I got a feeling down at the Morse Mill Hotel, but the Lent Mansion didn't bother me. But also we were there at a busy time where there's, 60 people eating lunch. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, if there was something going on, would you notice it? You know what I mean? With all those people around, I don't know.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know. But that place didn't bother me at all.
I want to check out a lot of places. And your state is full of them, girl. I couldn't believe it. I was looking, I was
We
going,
got a lot.
Missouri,
Those two places
Missouri.
are just the tip of the iceberg around here. There's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I got insane asylums. And well, of course, Anoka, Minnesota is the Halloween capital of the world. Okay. And I live in Minnesota. So it's always been fun to have Halloween here in Minnesota. Everybody usually really gets, you know what I mean? Like the big pumpkin parade and all that, you know what I mean? Because we're talking pumpkins bigger than a truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have a contest for the big pumpkins, and, they got that. And then they got the kids, what's it called? It's called something. It's to do with kids, and it's a little parade that they do, in a little part of the circle of Anoka, and it's, all the schools do it, and they do something with that. That's always been fun. Pumpkin, going out and getting a pumpkin's been fun. I love doing that, like hay rides, things like that. But I've been watching this thing on TV. I don't know what it was called. And it was talking about haunted places where you go in and you experience these, different things. People go all out. for, like having a spooky yard or house or whatever thing to go through. Well, there's one here in Minnesota that I've been kind of scared to go to because I heard it's like you'll piss your pants scared. Okay. And listen, I went to the one at the state fair we had here, and somebody touched me, and I punched them. Okay, so I don't think that.
In the tunnels and caves that still exist under the Limp Mansion, they have, I guess, one of those commercialized haunted houses that you can go down in the caves this time of year.
Yep.
Typically, they don't let you down there.
We have them
but
too.
You can go down and go through some of the stuff, but I'd rather go through when it's empty. I don't need nobody jumping out like Linda said, making me piss my pants, but I'd like to go see the cave and the tunnels. So Mira, your mom did tell me how you went to a haunted place for a field trip, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, she didn't know that at the time. But I had seen that place on Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans. And she came home from school and said, oh, we went here to the stockyard to say, what hotel did you go to? And she said the name. I'm like, oh, what'd you think of it?
You probably fell off the couch. You're like, what?
I did. And she was telling me, she was like, I didn't like it. I sat on the bus, but I'm like, oh, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You want to know why?
Yeah, because Zach said this place is jacked up. That's why.
Yep. But she had no idea when they took her there for the field trip. So yeah, I about died when she came home.
Or was this some sort of like school? Did they have no clue?
I don't think they had a clue, or if they did, they just dismissed it as silly because it was like a business class adventure to go see some hotels and stuff. So I don't think they understood where they went, but she was freaked out.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
No. Right. How old was she when this happened?
Oh, 13, 14, something like that.
Oh, God. So her and all of her friends are traumatized now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the teacher never said. I wonder if those teachers were like, where the hell are we going and why are we here? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's a very cool place. It's a very touristy place because it has a lot of history and it's very uniquely decorated and stuff. But she had no idea until she came home. I said, what hotel did you see? She said, well, this one and that one. And
did you ever watch
what?
the episode of Ghost Adventures?
No.
Did you ever watch the episode of Ghost Adventures?
Not her. She will get spooked and not sleep for a week. So she's not allowed to watch Ghost Adventures or anything like that. No. Yeah, she's very easy to spook. And sometimes I admit I may spook her a little on purpose because it's funny, but I shouldn't do that. And I'm a terrible mother.
No, you're not terrible. You're typical.
Typical. I think all three of us are the same kind of parent. We're like, oh, you don't like that? Come here a second. Yeah, just to like me poke at them.
Yeah, setting up my daughter with spiders and shit, man. She was freaked out so bad. She was like, man, I'm not even coming in the house because we all know they started the basement. Well, they made it up to that floor. Well, then if they made it all the way to the top, we're covered in them and I'm not going in the house no more. I'm like, oh my God, just a spider, dude. And I'd set it up so she'd see a spider. Freak her out. It was always fun.
And Rhonda, I'd love to guide you through Salem, but I live in Texas now, unfortunately. But if you do go to Salem, one of my oldest, most beloved mentors has a shop there. Her name is Lori Bruno, not Lori Cabot. Very important distinction. Lori Bruno, her shop is called Magica, and she is just a doll. So if you get to Salem, check out Magica.
I like that name.
Magica. She is old world Strega. She is amazing.
A what?
A Strega.
Okay.
Which would be like Italian gypsy witchcraft sort of thing.
Cool.
Very powerful. Very cool.
Like she put the evil red eye on you.
She'll put the evil eye on you if you step out of line. Yep.
That's not good. I've heard about that, boy. I tell you what, get a Sicilian. Is that what the ones are?
Sicilian, yep.
Yeah, I can't say that word. Sorry, I'm not trying to offend anybody. But hey, they're the ones that they'll put that eye on you.
Yeah, but yeah, Lori Bruno, she's one of the most loving, amazing people I've ever met, and she helped me and even my mother. I actually met her through my mother, so yeah, she's an old family friend, and her store's
your fantastic. your mom sounded a lot like my mom. She was reading those books on, all that stuff, and she was really into that stuff. Boy, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But it scared me because of the experiences I had when I was a kid. Now I'm all into it. I really
Right.
want it. I'm good with it. I've allowed myself to know that I am. What do you call that? Where you're trying to think. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know what it's called. But a person who can, feel the spirits or
Like a medium?
gets like premonitions or whatever, sees things or feels things that have happened or, what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yep. I think
I've learned
everybody
to
does
accept it.
get that.
Everybody is. I believe everybody is.
Yep. But most people
And
learn how
mostly
to tune it out.
Mostly our children,
Mhm.
because they don't know, they don't know the difference of it being
Right.
scary or unknown. And it's not scary. It's just so unknown. People don't know what, can they hurt me? Why are they here? Why do they do that? It's always a why, of course, but I want to know why. I want to know why you're still here. I'm interested in your story. You can tell me, okay? Please tell me your story. I want to know it. I'm that kind of person. I wish I was like the Long Island medium, where I could just be in a room and go, oh, you got to know something. Although I really don't know if that would be a blessing or a curse.
Well,
no way.
I don't know. I just, if I had that ability now, though, I just think of what I would do with it for the good. You know what I mean?
well, everybody has the ability. What the difference is if you choose to work on it and fine tune it. But
How do you do that? How do you fine
There's a
tune
process.
that?
There's definitely a process.
We're going into private group thing here. You're going to be teaching me this because I already am in tune to how I can let myself go and fly at night, and when I go to sleep and all that. I already know how to turn that on and off. Okay, but I don't know how to turn, like what I hear in the cemetery. Or
if you can
the
astrally
feeling I get.
project, you can turn on your psychic awareness, and it would probably be very easy for you to do that.
Well, I remember a Shaw telling me that I had the ability and I should be more in tune with it, and them people are some spiritual readers. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you all about yourself if you didn't even speak a word to them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The one I seen was worldwide known. Well, unfortunately, I have a hard time pronouncing foreign names, but he is very, very well known. In fact, a very rich man named his business after him because he told him, you're going to be something if you do what you're thinking about doing in your business. And the guy did it, and he's, a billionaire. So I thought, whoa, that's pretty good. I went to him, and I didn't really know it at the time, but I'm glad I went to somebody who was real, because I had been to a lot of those, fake people that just talk to you to get, know a little information, right?
Like Sylvia Brown and the Long Island Medium.
Well, yeah, I
sorry, don't want to crush your dreams, but
I wasn't. No, I didn't say that. I said I wish I could be like that. I don't mean the fake part of it. I mean, I wish I could be to my real thing. For real, exactly. The real. I'm not.
I think the difference is anyone who's really a medium and someone who can really touch through the veil of the other side is not going to walk around telling you
commercialized it. Right. I don't think so either, because to me it's a real gift. I'll tell you, that flying stuff really freaked me out. I gotta tell you,
it comes with a price.
Yeah,
just like that TV show Once Upon a Time. He always says, "Magic comes with a price, dearie," and
it does.
It really does.
I totally agree. Totally agree. It's a very big responsibility.
Like, I feel like that would be an ability that would be used to a fault,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or could drive yourself crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to,
That's
why I don't want it.
You could use it to a fault
where
it's not. Yeah. You use it to a fault where it hurts more than it helps.
Right. Exactly.
And if you want to learn to develop.
I don't need to worry about the dead ones. I'm right there with you, Catnip.
If you want to learn to develop your psychic awareness.
About 6 weeks ago. Awen, you were saying, and I hope I remembered that Samhain. Is that correct? That this time of year is the best time of year to have reading. And does that
That's why you're going to give me one.
go in with Samhain, or is that the way it is?
It's the time of the year.
Oh, these-
It's Samhain. It's now we're in the dark half of the year, and the point of Samhain was the belief that this is when the veil between the worlds of the living and the passed over is the thinnest, when you can sort of walk between them.
Right.
And it's also New Year. Samhain is the New Year of paganism.
And if you're so lucky to get a harvest moon or a blood moon or whatever on that too, when you get red, it's supposed to be better.
The moon brings enlightenment. So
now in Salem, do they do a big? In Salem, do they do a big like Samhain celebration with the bonfire and all that we talked about before?
No, they do big celebrations, but as many times as we petitioned the city to let us have a bonfire, they were like, "Are you nuts?" So,
that's sad.
We always had our private Samhain circle with our own fire, our own property. But they would not let us do it like on the Salem Green or Gallows Hill or anything like that. No big bonfires.
Oh, especially where it's so, like, the ground is, primed for that. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. They won't let you do it. That's sad.
Well, we'd always have a couple rituals. We would use people's yards or one spot out in the woods at a campground where we could have a nice big fire. So we'd always have our own fire, but we could never have a big public celebration with a.
Your daughter is correcting
never be
you.
like the whole community together.
Is that her? Is she correcting you, or is she correcting Rhonda?
Rhonda asked how it was spelled. That's all.
Oh, I thought you were saying. We're getting Linda's out of it, man.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know.
That was when we did that last time. I wrote down like, "How the hell do you say this?" And that was my first question. I'm like, I'm very confused.
It's like Awen's name.
Remember that you're not allowed to have the full like ceremony. I guess I don't even know if that's the right word, or celebration.
We would do
as a community
public ceremony.
That's what sucks.
Well, we did one for the same year as the Tercentenary. We did a giant open Samhain circle at Gallows Hill, which is where the hangings took place, and we had witches from all over the world. Even the Ferrars from England came over. And we had a huge public ceremony there, and that was great. And we do them sometimes on the green for other holidays, but we couldn't have the big bonfire, but we did have hundreds and hundreds of people there. So it was pretty cool to be able to show people this is what a witch's Samhain ritual is. It's not anything scary or devil worshipy. It's none of that. Here's what it really is. And they got to see it firsthand and take part in it. So that was very special.
Right. Well, I'm that's exciting that you were able to be there for that, especially knowing how important this, community is to you. The fact that you were able to be there.
Okay, now let's get to some good stuff.
All right.
You're gonna do my
everybody's
card?
asking how do we like tap into our,
I want to do my cards.
I don't want to say
I will do your
side,
cards.
but to our,
I will do Linda's cards, but to the question about how do you develop it, it's a very long process. It's not something you can just sit down and do in a night. It's going to take years, but you're constantly progressing and you're constantly getting better. The first thing to do is to learn how to get yourself in a meditative state. Linda does not want to hear this, but
I know, breathe.
do it.
Actually, time out. Linda, did you watch the video that we did about meditation and about how it's not the breathing thing? Because that was always my like, oh hell no. But when
no, it's yes, I did.
Kind of broke it down to be like, no, that's not what you're doing. Right. Like that's not at all. Like chill the fuck out. Doing. Right. So when you did that, you were sick, so you missed it. But I hope you watched it because it definitely changed my perception. So sorry to interrupt, Awen, but I wanted to let Linda know.
And I agree.
Like chill out.
I totally agree. You got to lay down and relax. And you want to know something? I watched my aunt when I was a little kid. She was into that relaxing and meditation, and she played a tape. And what it's had some, nice mode, relaxing music. And it was like a water fountain or something. And some guy saying, okay, relax. And he started from her toes all the way up, And she
Yep.
was able to do that. And that's really what it is. You're only telling yourself that. If you can get it, like my granddaughter has spa night in the bathtub. So at the end of her bath, we put candles on. I put in some meditation and relaxation music for kids, which is really nice. And she lays in there in the water with a towel, like, in the water over her so she don't get cold, and just lays there for 10 minutes. Then when she's done, she is so relaxed and ready to just, no hyperness, no nothing, just all calm. We can talk, we can have her a little before bed. And it's great. And I know how to do that. So if I can do it, and I just don't like hearing about, well, you got to relax and,
Well,
I'm not a
Awen's
person
getting
who
ready to
relaxes.
explain, that's the first step in tapping into your skills. So we're going to have to figure out a way that works for all of us. And all of us, it's going to work differently. But check out Awen's here.
For Linda,
Make sure we watch Awen's series because she's helping us all out.
Okay.
There's one video in the series I have that will show you. Let me find it. The fastest way to train your body to go from full consciousness into a meditative state. That should take about 10 seconds. So let me find the right video, because I don't know which one. You think I would title them appropriately?
I'm going to link your channel and you link that video. Rhonda's totally taking notes. Like step 1, meditate. Oh, Rhonda's the best.
I have to. I'm sorry if you can hear this.
Oh, you're fine.
Where is it? Did I not record it? Do I think I recorded it? Did I have a psychic vision of recording it? I never actually did. All right, this is the one. I found it. Let me get a link. All right, this technique, it's basically called the alpha countdown. And what you're doing is you're focusing your mind and getting it to the alpha state. Come on, paste, Control V. There we go. There's different vibratory states of your brain function. You get beta, theta, alpha, and alpha is where you want to start. So it's the alpha countdown. It's very quick, very easy. When you can master that, it should take you maybe a couple weeks of practice, trying it for a few seconds every night before bed. Then you go to step 2. So if you all want to work on that, in a week or 2, I'll give you step 2. It's pretty easy. Even Linda can do it as much as she doesn't want to.
Okay, sidebar. Do they have Greek?
Mainly because the first physicians that we had were Greeks, the Greek philosophers.
Okay, fair enough. I was just like, okay, this is like totally the Greek alphabet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, discounting anything. I was just like, I wonder why.
Yeah. A lot of our medical and scientific knowledge comes from the Arabic countries and Greece. So that's probably why. Like even algebra is named after an Arabic man who basically came up with math. So, yeah. You got that, Linda? I'm going to test you on that. Make sure you got that.
Just checking if you're paying attention or not. Because I'm saying to myself, 10 seconds. Okay, yeah, Linda, you're going to learn this. Yeah, right. I'll get there about alpha, beta, done. Because but I understand the meditation part or relaxation, being in tune, because that's how I have to be in order to.
Yeah.
Well, Linda,
meditation.
If you think about it, like Linda keeps saying, everything she has experienced has been when she's asleep. So I have to I have to correlate that.
Does that sound surprising?
Relax. But you know what I'm saying? Like she's relaxed, so like her mind can open up to that. That's how I would put 2 and 2 together. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you have to be in a relaxed state and experiences things when she's asleep, then it feels like that's the open door.
Right.
Am I wrong for that?
No, you're very right. That's why I said my cure would be a cup of Valium and then I'd be good to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to be able, I am such a hyper person and such a
Mhm.
nervous person, especially a lot lately, real nervous. So I ramble and I don't settle down. And you know what? I got to go get some medication.
No, you don't need medication. You really don't. You have
Yeah,
to.
no,
Part of
no, I think
opening
I do.
your psychic awareness is learning how to be in control of things like that. So
That's why
learning things like the alpha countdown and how to control what your brain is doing will help you more than anything.
yeah.
And naturally, instead of taking some
Yeah, see, I
crazy.
don't like medication. I don't take, like I
Me
said, I
either.
don't take I don't take pain medication. In fact, I just don't. I don't. Anything I take is like
Uh-oh.
NyQuil and aspirin, or I'm not even aspirin, ibuprofen, and then that's it. I don't take nothing. I'm scared of that shit, dude. I'm scared of what they prescribe for people because it makes a lot of addictions, and a lot of other issues.
Yeah. Some of the side effects
I
are worse than the
yeah,
symptoms. Trust me, I've dealt with that this past
yeah,
week.
and
But
yeah, and I feel bad for anybody. You know what? I don't feel bad for. I have a lot of respect for people who go and do it because I don't in all honesty, do not believe that I could go through we're getting where you're at with the medicine. We're just trying to get the right, because first of all, I can't be put to sleep. Like I don't like feeling, dead. Can't do it.
Yep.
6 o'clock comes around, I'm up, let's go do, Linda's got to go, that's just how I am. Okay. Because when I'm down, Linda goes down. I mean, I go to a very dark place that I never did before, and I don't want to do that. So now I'm all about, get me up, and they're going to give me stuff that's going to make me go. And I can't do that because I go to a dark place. So I can't do that. Yeah. I got a lot of, I don't know, whatever.
Well, are you ready for your reading, Miss Linda?
Yeah, let me mic myself here so I don't interrupt.
Okay. All right, I'm shuffling the cards now. Take a minute and think about questions that you have.
Last time. Okay, I'm gonna mute. I'm sorry. I'm all like,
It's okay. All right, think about what you want to know while I'm shuffling. We'll channel that into the card and say, Linda needs some information. All right. Oh, you hear my husband coughing. He just came home. All right, here we go. The first row, we have sovereignty, the spear six, and the moon. This is your recent past. This is something that's happened very recently to you. And this tells kind of a story. You're going to have to interpret what the story means for you because I don't have the details. But what I have here is the first card is justice. Something happened in your life where you felt, okay, this worked out in my favor. It was a just decision or whatever happened. Could actually be a court case thing, or it could be a personal justice sort of situation. But that's followed by the spear six, which is a victory shrouded in mist, meaning you think you won, but you honestly didn't. And what comes after that is the moon, which is things hidden coming to light. So you've recently learned about a situation in which you thought the outcome had been something, realized it wasn't, and now you're dealing with the fallout from that. Does that make sense to you? You can just nod or wave. I can't see you on the screen. Where's Linda? Okay, does that make sense to you? Yes? Okay. I think so. Now we're going to go to the second row.
Yes, I forgot I was mic'd.
Okay.
And yes. Okay, I'm shutting off the camera, but I'll stay mic'd.
Okay.
It's a little personal.
Yeah, I'll try to keep any details.
No, I want to hear it all. You got
Okay.
all. Just do it.
All right. First card, we have the Grail 8, the Spear Maiden, and then the Stone 6. The first card is generally what I call this card is I'm not worthy. All right. This is your current life. You're currently feeling a lot of pressure. You're feeling unworthy of something that you're trying to attain.
Oh my God, yeah.
It gets within reach and slips out of your grasp every time. You're like, I don't deserve this. I'm not worthy of this. That's something. This is coming up here to tell you to change your perspective on that. All right. Your feelings of unworthiness are what's keeping you from having it, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Next is the Spear Maiden. This is a card of preparation. You have some work to do. Whatever this issue is, you have stuff that you have to do to allow it to actually happen the right way. and you know what that is. So
Oh yeah.
time to get cracking on that.
Uh,
Then we have the stone 6, which is what's going to help you with this is your circle, your people, your
oh God.
daughters, your mom, your family, your friends, people in your immediate circle. Keep them close and lean on them because that's what's going to help you get this. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the top row, which is things that are coming in your near future that can help or hinder your progress. Okay. Interesting. All right. I see 2 guys up here. All right.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Keep going.
One of them is a storyteller.
Oh my God.
The other one is a fighter.
Oh my God. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
I'll wait till you.
But what's after them is the stone 2, which is a fork in the road, a split decision.
Okay.
All right. So you have to look at these 2 male influences. I really don't get what's going on with them. I'm
You
getting a
will.
lot of energy
will.
coming through, but it's very cloudy. But
You will right after this live. You
okay.
will know what I'm talking about.
So your split decision is coming. You need to prepare for that and make your choice wisely. We can look at that closer later if you want. But the end result
Yeah.
is you doing this on your own. Okay.
Okay.
Don't fall down.
I have
No
been
falling
falling
down.
down. I actually was crying. So
Oh
it's
no.
because like, no, not bad.
Okay.
It's just that you're reading something that is like right here and now. Right, just like, yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. And the way it's coming through is like, were you in my back pocket the last 3 days? Or where's the drone that's watching me? Or, I don't know. That's all I can say. So keep going if you got more.
Okay.
I'm
That's
just
all for
astounded.
this one spread. What part of this do you want to look at more closely?
All of it.
All right.
The end part. Actually, the end part.
All right. Let's start with the split decision.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Am I supposed to still be thinking? I don't think I need to think about this anymore.
All right. Well, this is interesting. The 4 cards around the split decision. The Spear 4, which is usually a card of weddings, but this is in the past. So I don't get that. You might get that.
A wedding in the past?
Right.
What? No, celebration of it?
It could be a celebration, or a wedding. It's usually a card that symbolizes a union of some sorts in the past about the split decision. So I'm not putting that together yet, but the rest
Unless
of the cards
maybe that means something that I tried before and it didn't work that way. So something.
Yeah, if one of these guys proposes to you, don't do it.
That's not happening.
Okay.
It's not like that.
That's a big no, hard no there.
Yeah, it's not like that.
The Sword Knight and the Sword Queen are together here, which shows I'm seeing a couple. This is probably about the fighter guy, whichever one you identified as the fighter, because they're both swords. But there's see, this is Linda. You can't marry this guy.
I'm not marrying nobody. I have no guy even looking at me, dude. And if he is, I wouldn't know it. Right. I'll tell you that. Okay, it has nothing to do with no marriage. Okay, it could be a contract. It could be a contract of some sort. Maybe that could be that way. But if you're looking at marriage, definitely looking at marriage. Ain't nobody. Look, I ain't
use
seen
the word
nothing
union.
Else.
We'll say union because it's not necessarily marriage.
I don't even talk to guys. I don't talk to a man. I ain't been in a relationship for 7 years. I have no. I'm telling you right now, guys don't even fucking look at my fat ass. So freaking no, there's no guy in my life.
All right. So whoever this male is, that's the fighter. There's a union coming up between you, or a partnership, or a project you're going to work on together.
That makes sense.
Okay. The end result of that is the Spear 3, which is very, very positive. Whatever vision you and he have that you're working towards, you will succeed at it if you follow that guy. Okay. But don't marry him because that's not in the cards.
Although, well, I'll tell you. Oh, thank you. I don't know what to say. That is when we get down here and I go in the back and I tell you what it is, because I would tell right now, because I am transparent. I don't have nothing to hide from any of you guys. But the reason why I can't is because, well, I just can't right now. You'll understand. I swear to God, you'll understand.
Well, as long as it makes sense to you.
Oh my God, yes.
We have some clarity of which direction to go in now.
You remember when I said I got something to tell you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What this? You just.
I'll just wait. I'll try to be patient.
No, you just said all about, except for you don't know the little tiny details.
Right.
So, but hey, man, the marriage thing, the boyfriend thing, maybe a boy looking at me or touching my hand might be good. I don't know.
You never know. Not this guy, though. Even though he may propose to you at some point. Wouldn't that be funny?
Oh, now let me tell you something. Yeah, that would I think I might really have to lay down and crack my face, okay? Because yeah, that's cool. Okay, cool.
So yes, a positive resolution is coming. And
Okay.
it's okay.
All right, cool.
You got this, man.
All right, well, I guess my own doubt is what stops me from getting it, right?
Yep.
That's
Your
what
fear,
said,
your
so.
feeling of that you don't deserve a positive outcome. I'm not worthy of this. I don't deserve that. It'll never happen for me. Nothing good happens for me. Those types of negative thoughts, you're sending them out to the universe every time you think them, and they're preventing the good thing from getting to you. It's like you're putting a wall up around yourself. So
Yeah.
change those thoughts.
Okay. That I will. Thank you. Go ahead, Denise, your turn. Get your mind blown away this time.
Are you up for this, Denise? You don't have to do it. Because I know you've had a rough week.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I want to hear what you have to say.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know
Let me tell you something.
You do. Awen, how many are you feeling like doing? Because I don't want to
probably do 3 or 4.
Well, go ahead and do Rhonda because she said she'd like to have one, and then maybe we'll see after that. I'm gonna just think about it for another minute, because if something crazy comes out about the last couple of weeks, which I'm sure it will, then I'll just, I don't know.
Yeah,
I might have to lose my shit and call it a night. You never know.
So, you have access to me privately whenever you want that too.
Are you cool with doing Rhonda?
Yep. Just give me a minute.
Perfect.
All right. Get all the Linda off them. Get all the Linda off the cards. Get Rhonda's energy in. All right, Rhonda, start thinking of a question or a situation that you might have some questions about, if there's anything specific. If not, just general stuff will come up. I heard my husband come in, but nobody showed up here with any food. Not that I'm distracted or anything. Okay, here we go, Rhonda. You ready? Okay, your first row, the bottom row. This is something from your past, could be recent, could be distant, that is currently affecting you or on your mind right now. We have the moon, the sword hallow, and the grail 9. We have the moon in Linda's reading. It means the same thing here. Something hidden coming to light. Something you discovered that you didn't know about that caused you to take some action. The sword hallow is a card of action. Striking out in a different direction, fighting for something. It caused you to take an action that maybe you wouldn't normally have done. But as a result of that, we have the Grail 9, which is a card of a deep family connection, a lot of love, a lot of history, and a lot of strength from your cauldron that is your family. Okay. That's all the details that I'm getting out of this. So hopefully that makes sense to you and you can put it into a real life situation. The next row, that is your current world. We have the Stone 5, the Lady of the Lake, and the Sword Maiden. I don't know how much you want me to say here. This might be a little personal. The Stone 5 is a card of you, shows that currently you kind of feel like you're standing out in the weather, weathering the storm by yourself. But you have to be the stone. You have to be made of stone, and you have to be able to weather anything that comes to you. But you don't feel like you have a lot of support around you other than yourself in regards to an issue that's currently or very recently happened to you. We have the Lady of the Lake, who is the Priestess card in most other decks. It's a card of, normally I would say great magic, but that may not fit your situation. It's a card of great wisdom, ancestral knowledge. Um, Again, with the family, very similar to the Grail 9. There's a lot of family history here that's brewing. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's something that you are kind of having to be the stone of the family and deal with. And if this doesn't make sense to you, it will very soon. Right? This is a very powerful layout coming up that's saying this is happening to you, whether you're aware of it or not. So prepare. And the reason I say prepare is the next card is the Sword Maiden, which is all about preparing. All right, this is telling you you got to get ready because shit's going to hit the fan, and now is your time to get ready for it. Okay. But in so preparing, we have the next row. The next row is influences coming in the near future that can help or hinder your situation. So either embrace them or avoid them as necessary. The first card we have is the Sword 8, which again is right above the Stone 5. Very, very similar card, which says standing alone, right? It's a picture of a sword standing out in a marsh all by itself, right? So again, you're kind of on your own, dealing with a lot of things that aren't necessarily 100% your responsibility, but it's right there. It's something that, the work isn't done. You still have to stand on your own a bit. Although the card next to it is the Stone 6, which is similar we had in Linda's reading, your family, your circle, right? Your very closest inner circle. They are there around you. So either maybe you tend to push them away because you don't want to burden people with other things. Say, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it, to sort of protect them. Or maybe you need to reach out and say, hey, I need some help. Either way, they are there. And now it's time for you to avail yourself of this circle because they want to support you and help you and deal whatever's going on. They're ready and willing to help you get through it. All right. The last card is also one we had for Linda, the Spear 6, the Victory Shrouded in Mist. All right. Now, this is right above the card that we talked about was preparing. So this is saying, although you think things may have been resolved, there's some more coming. All right. So get ready for that. All right. Just when you think, okay, finally that's dealt with, nope, the universe is going to pull a sucker punch. So it's saying prepare for that. All right. When things look resolved, keep preparing, get ready, because it's going to come back. However, the last card is the Spear Maiden, which again is another card of preparation, but also a card of taking action, being able to see clearly. The last card was the Spear 6, things a victory shrouded in mist, meaning you may think things are resolved, but they won't be. Right. So you'll finally think, okay, we dealt with that. Now we can move on. No, something's going to spring up and bring it all right back. All right. So be prepared for that. Be ready for it. And you can sort of head it off at the pass, which is exactly what the Spear Maiden card is saying here. It's preparing, get ready to avert the troubles coming, because now that you know they're coming, you can head it off at the pass and you will succeed. So it's a very positive card of success as long as you're mentally prepared and aware that it's on the way. And that is that. I hope that makes sense to you. Like I said, I don't get a lot of specific details. I kind of get the story and give it to you to kind of interpret how it fits into your life. So hopefully that made some sense. If not, I can blame it on low blood sugar because I'm starving. But I need dinner.
Funny. I know some of Rhonda's story in recent times, so part of it actually made sense to me for Rhonda. Like, I don't know, it was weird, but I would like to know what Rhonda thought. She said, that's good stuff. Makes sense.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's very hard when I'm not sitting across from someone because I don't get that
Right.
instant feedback, you know? It's like, do you get this?
Yeah, and I guess when you're, like you said, across the table from someone, you kind of feel their energy. Does that make a difference in how the cards will play out, do you think? Or is it just the way the cards fall?
I'm not sure it makes a difference, but usually before someone sits down across from me, I've got their number. You know, I've kind of pegged them before we even start. Does that cloud what comes out in the reading? Possibly. You know, it certainly could. So in some ways, this is a little easier because I don't have to worry about any of that. I just, here's what it says. You figure it out.
Right.
You know, which is a little easier for me to focus on the information coming through and not my perception of it. So, but it's hard because you don't get the instant feedback. Like when someone gets it, like, oh, yeah, yeah. And they start nodding like, okay, good. I'm on the right track. You know.
Rhonda said, I feel as though the cards get me. She was connected.
Good.
Yeah, Rhonda, last time we did this, gosh, a couple, 2-3 months ago, and the accuracy was like astounding. It was like, oh, what the hell? Like she did me, she did my husband. And it was so funny. Wayne, like later that night, he's like, I get what she's saying. I'm like, you had a revelation? Like, what the hell just happened? So it was kind of, I don't know. Because at first, you know, it's a lot to process, really. I mean, it's just a few minutes in time, but there's a lot that kind of comes out sometimes. So
yeah. Well, Rhonda, can I ask you a question? And if this is just personal, just tell me to shut up. But was there a recent death of a female in your life? Because that's what I got, but I wasn't sure I should say that. Because that's kind of a heavy deal to talk about. Yep. All right. So that's what was coming through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know you from anyone, so I would not have known that going in. But
right. Like when you were saying things, I'm like, oh, that makes sense to me. Like I just, yeah, that was interesting.
That makes sense then. See, I should have said it. And this is where I trip up. I don't trust myself sometimes. Or if I had just come out and said that, you know, the rest of it might have made more sense to her. But
here I am talking. The fucking mic is off. I just told this biggest, greatest thing about you, Awen. You wouldn't even want to know. Anyway, what I was saying is that probably made it a lot easier for her to know that. You know, if you said that. And when I said that like that, you answered. So I thought you could still hear me. But you didn't hear me. You heard me mentally. But anyway, yeah, if you can, don't do that. Don't second guess yourself, because that's like two times now. But you were very spot on. So, you know, you'll know what I mean when yeah. You'll see it. So, but are you going to do it, Denise? I hate this dinging in here. Sorry, guys. It's my notifications, and I do not know enough.
Might want to do that privately. Might be better for Denise.
Huh?
I said it might be a better idea.
I'm game.
Are you sure?
Yeah, don't. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
I can take it.
All right. Sometimes they can.
No, I can take it. I'm interested actually because I want to know if there's something good around the corner. Let me just say that. All right. Let me mute and go for it.
Okay. I mean, I got to reshuffle now.
How do I get rid of that damn notification?
All right. Here we go. Miss Denise. All right. Now, I know a little bit about Denise's life, so I'm trying to do this without bringing in anything that I know. So I'm going to go really strict meaning of the cards, and then we'll interpret it later. The foundation, just things happen in the recent past. I'm getting very recent from this. The sword 3, breaking down of bridges. You tore down a bridge with someone in your life. But it was done out of love, and it was done out of protection. Does that make sense to you? Just nod, because I can see you. Yes, okay. So what this is saying here is it was a positive move, even though it may not have felt like it at the time. Oh my God, are you pregnant? Well, we have the pregnancy card here, so it's
Are you fucking crazy?
Let's
If
hear.
I was pregnant,
Okay.
I would walk out into the woods and let
Oh.
you see me.
Okay,
Holy
now
fuck.
pregnant, married. Ain't happening.
Okay.
Good thing Wayne's not here. He would have fucking fainted.
Goodness, excuse me. All right, we have the Empress card, which is generally a card of pregnancy or fertility, but it's also the archetypal mother. All right, so you have been the archetypal mother right now. This is actually current, not the past. So the universe is calling on you to play every mom card you have in the book. All right, but what's next to that is Taliesin, which is the archetypal father. All right, so we've got mom and dad here. Followed by the Grail Knight, which is rushing in to fix everything. Apparently, there's a lot of mess going on, and you and Wayne are going to be fixing it, probably for the foreseeable future. But trust that you and Wayne are the right people to be doing this, and you have the right plan of attack. You have the right energy. Even though I think you're doubting that a lot, but that's maybe coming more from me than the cards. So take that with a grain of salt. But the right energies are present to bring with the Grail Knight light and sunshine and music to whatever you need to focus on. So you have the ability to heal whatever's broken and fix things and just trust that. And the top row, oh, that's a good card. Oh, well, damn. Your ship's about to come in, honey, so you just hang in there. We have the Spear 10, which is a card of victory, and this one is not shrouded in mist. This is a clear, overwhelming victory of all the things that are currently vexing you. So just hang tight, do what you're doing. You are well on your way to the victory. Above that is the Stone Hallow, which is ancestral. It's family. It's the link between everyone that's involved in this, just being very powerful, very solid. Even if it looks like the ground is shaky, you have nothing to fear. Right? So that's just a message for you saying, don't fear, don't stress, it's okay. Then we have the Grail 10, which is my favorite card of the whole deck. The Grail suit is all about love and family and good things and prosperity and everything. And the 10 is the apex of that suit. So there is nothing but good things on the way once this issue resolves itself, or issues. So all you have to do is stay focused on that, and everything is kind of going to fall into place. It's okay to kind of just say, all right, I know good things are coming. We got this. And just kind of relax with it, trusting that it's going to be okay. Right? You have nothing big to worry about other than little minor crap that's happening now. It may feel like the mountain, but it's really a molehill because you got it. You have more control over things than you feel like you do. So that's a very incredibly positive card up there. And the outcome card is the Grail Maiden. Now, what I would normally say about this card, without knowing anything, is it's a young woman who appears to be making a lot of sacrifices to make things happen. Very, very giving, almost too much of herself, and really feeling like I maybe need to pull back and sort of, strengthen up my own shores. I think I know who this is, but that could be coming from me and not the cards. So this is a younger female who's involved in your life. We have the Grail here, so it's a familial connection, but she's stretched a little thin, giving a little too much, needs to pull back and rein her in. And you need to be the one to help her do that because she doesn't know how. All right, if that makes sense. But I do see a little tension there, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. But again, it's in the same line as the you and Wayne card, the mother and father. So you know how to fix it, even though you don't know that you know how to fix it. Does that make sense? Yes, she's nodding. Okay, good. All right, and that's it for this layout. Are there any pieces that you wanted more information about?
I don't even know because I mean, you basically just summed up the last 2 weeks of my life. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
Well, your ship's coming in. That's pretty good. It's about time. Rainy Ranch is going to look like a castle overlooking the sea.
Ooh, I hate talking to
I
myself.
wouldn't think. Okay, so maybe could you do more about that younger woman that you just talked about?
Yeah, let's look at her.
Is it helping you like feel a little better about like maybe if whatever's going on, you're going, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe I should do this? Is it helping you feel better about that?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's just bizarre.
What I'm seeing in these cards, I put down 6 more cards about her. There's a wall of communication that needs to be broken down. All right. That's going to be the important first step. But the things around that, you may need to remind her of the, and it's hard to articulate the meaning of this card in this situation, but it's ancestral treasure. All right. Which is, don't overlook what you have as being invaluable or as being not valuable because it's actually invaluable. You may need a reminder of that. Then we have the cauldron, which is, again, it's a powerful card that's about pretty much the female energy. All right, she may just be feeling kind of going at things alone, but doesn't know how to ask for help, or doesn't think she deserves help, or doesn't think she should need help. It's all part of that line of communication that needs to be opened. However, we have the Spear Knight up here, which says she may tend to act a little rashly and without thinking things through very clearly. This is the picture of a flaming red-haired man running into battle on his horse by himself without stopping to think of what the repercussions could be or what could happen to him along the way. So a caution against acting out rashly and making rash decisions. We have the Grail 2 and the Stone King, which show that for all of the rashness and all of the overlooking the value of what she has in her life, she has something that's grounding. Now, the suit of stones is very grounding. This would be the man in her life. It could be a father, it could be a husband, could be a brother. Whoever the strongest male influence is in her life is really the one to keep her grounded and focused. You know, the Grail 2 is a relationship, it's love, it's happiness. And again, the energy I'm getting is she needs a reminder of all of the good things that get lost in the repercussions of the rash actions. Does that make any sense? I hope so. Okay.
Very much so. Very much
All
so.
Good.
I'm actually going to have her watch this.
Oh. Okay.
I am. I'm going to be like, all right, here we go.
Good. I guess it fits then. But yeah, it's all.
Yeah, the whole thing fits. That's the interesting. Like these things are so interesting to me because yeah.
Good. Here comes my baby cat.
Yeah, the bridge thing was shocking to me because that really, yeah, that was interesting.
Good opener.
Yeah, it was like, here it comes, sit tight. Oh, Catnet has a good question.
Where did
Awen,
you get your card? All right.
Yeah.
My tarot card story. My mother was very into all kinds of occult stuff growing up, and she had an entire bookcase full of different decks of tarot cards, like hundreds of them. And I would just sit and play with them because I thought they were pretty. I grew up with them all the time. They never seemed anything out of the ordinary to me. And when I finally said, I want to read tarot cards, she gave me a book. She told me to pick out a deck, and I got going with it. That's how I got my first deck. The deck that I use now, and the only deck that I use, is the Arthurian Tarot. because that's the one that I just get the best results with. It speaks to me. I get the imagery. It's just my favorite deck ever. My other favorite deck is the cosmic version of the Rider-Waite, which is the very traditional deck, but it's just so much prettier than the base deck. So those are the two decks that I really only will probably ever use the rest of my life. So that's where I get them.
How long did it take you to learn like the meanings of the cards and stuff like that? Like, I'm not trying to be like stupid here, but is there like a class or like a group that you like worked with? Does that, I mean, I don't mean to sound stupid because I really don't know how you learn.
I've done a bunch of different things because you never really stop learning with them. Like my first thing, I had the book that was inside the deck of cards. And I would just read, I'd look at the card and read what the book said. Look at the next card, read what the book said, over and over until I could go through them like flashcards and know what they all meant. But we also did this thing with called the Builders of the Addendum, which was a mail order school about tarot cards based on a different philosophy, and the Tree of Life and all that, but very Kabbalistic stuff. So that was very enlightening. So I took pieces from that, pieces from the original book, pieces from my mentors that I've had over the years. So it just kind of all keeps building and growing, you know?
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I think the hardest part would be to learn what the cards mean when they come together. You know,
that's
like
the challenging part. Yep.
That, yeah, you know, like how they relate. Because you tell that story very well. Like you are just, this one means this when it comes up with that. And that's where I would be like, you know.
Yep, that's what I learned from.
It sounds like calculus to me. I'm like, no, I'm out. I mean, I'm not trying to be, you know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah, what changed the way I do card readings from your traditional like tarot card reader who does a very particular spread and each card and each spot means a certain thing was when I went to Salem and I started working with this man, Ron, who owned the store that I worked at. He taught me to see the tarot cards as telling you a story, right? So he showed me this different layout and he said, just tell the story. If you follow the cards, they're telling you a very clear story. You tell the person the story and they can figure out how it fits into their life. But because now I focus on reading the story, my brain is so busy with that I don't let all the garbage interpretations come into my brain. I'm not trying to tell you what the card means for you. I'm telling you the story, and then you tell me if that fits or not. And if it doesn't, we'll go back and look at it. You know, so it's just a whole different way of opening my own mind up to just getting the information out, and then we'll process the information later. So that's why I call my readings pathworking readings as opposed to fortune telling or tarot readings. It's a little different process.
Yeah. Now, you don't have to give away your age, but how long have you been working with them, with the cards?
Well, I am 48. I'm not ashamed to say that. But I got my first deck, I think, when I was about 9 or 10. My mom gave it to me. So my whole life, pretty much.
So essentially your whole life, you've kind of figured out what all this means.
Yeah. And it's something, you know, I'll break them out every once in a while if I can't figure out what to do in my own life, like what's the best way to approach this. So, I mean, I use them all the time. It's just they're become a part of me, you know?
Right.
So it's just a thing.
That's
Linda,
really
you're muted.
Right, exactly. She's probably blank.
I was.
Yeah, I knew it.
I
could feel it.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah, this is like, I want to ask her this. And then, oh, well, then she asked it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Are you guys reading my mind too, man?
I am. That's what I do, man.
I swear to God.
Every time we have to tell you you're muted.
I know it's, you think I'd get used to it by now. But I was going to say, I know what you mean about the cards on how you go through them and how you first taught yourself. When I haven't went as far as you, but I'm really interested in doing it again, you know, get me a set. But I had a really nice set of tarot cards and somebody else used them. So sorry, not mine no more. Okay. And I firmly believe that. You know what I'm saying? You're once somebody else has used your cards, they're not yours anymore. You're not, other people aren't supposed to use your cards.
No, they're not supposed to. You can cleanse them.
I don't know how to do that. I just felt weird about it after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay, thanks for wrecking it for me. And I was just learning, like you, like I'd flip a
Yep.
card and then read what it was for, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just try to feel like, just getting relaxed.
I did kind of my decks. Now I do if I'm reading in person, I'll let the person shuffle them because I want their energy in them for me to read. But
yes, not
they don't
for somebody
use
to
them as
read
such.
them.
Right, exactly.
Right. Well, and I got them from a really sacred place too. Like, there's this place in Florida. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's a lot of people who are in tune with all that, readers and all that stuff. It's just this little town in Florida. I can't remember the name of it. I could look it up, but I don't know what the name of it is. Anyway, we were just passing through there, coming back from Orlando, and we heard that it was a very spiritual place and whatever. And this lady had this little shop in there, and she sold all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
and crystals and, things like that. And yeah, but into body healing with crystals, this lady was just pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I never heard of that before, and I kind of learned a little bit about it from her.
Mhm. Rhonda, if you're doing a cleansing, one of my favorite things this time of year, go find a cinnamon broom. Even Walgreens sells them. Right? It's a little cinnamon stick broom. It smells fantastic, but you use it to sweep out your house. Go room to room, sweep all the floors and sweep it all out the front door, and then it's gone. That backed up with sage is an incredibly powerful house
I
cleansing.
never heard
thing
of that.
to do.
That's cool.
Yep. You got to use the broom. Which is we do brooms.
I never heard of that before. People,
Yeah, you don't have to really
I've heard of doing the taking the cinnamon sticks and placing them, in rooms.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The cinnamon broom is very good, and don't really sweep with it. Just pretend, just do the motions.
Yeah,
you'll destroy it.
Like, yeah. You have a cinnamony floor.
Mm-hmm. That's funny that your daughter got one today. How appropriate.
Right.
Whose daughter?
Rhonda's daughter.
Rhonda's daughter got one of those brooms.
Got a broom? She did get a cinnamon broom?
Yeah,
oh
today.
My God. Whoa, Rhonda, Rhonda, listen. You have got to do whatever you got to do, girl. Whatever was, girl. Oh,
Yeah, something is talking to Rhonda, so yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, you're really in a good one there. Catnip, you should have yours done.
I'm in the flow. It's that time of year,
I
man.
don't know how many everyone wants to do.
Yeah, it's just spot on too.
You can't just get regular cinnamon scented stuff in Canada, catnip. That's weird. Well, yeah, this time of year, I guess everything has cinnamon apple.
Yeah. Yeah, we found them at Walgreens, and I had my husband buy like 5 of them. I was like, go get all of them. I need all the cinnamon brooms.
So this time of year, like with Samhain and all that, is this the best time of year to do the cleansing and stuff?
Any time of year is best to do the cleansing. You want to do it after a full moon is your best bet. Between full moon and dark moon, the best time to get rid of bad energies and cleanse yourself and do protections. So, but you can do it anytime. My cat's trying to eat my microphone. Stop it.
Huh? Oh, the cat.
My cat. He's like, what is this tasty microphone? My black cat, of course. Merlin, the Halloween cat, is here.
It's got to I don't know. So crazy. No, okay, let me ask you this. In Salem, like what you just did for a handful of us, like in Salem, are there like I don't want to be disrespectful, but like people that do it just for commercial purposes and like I don't know how to say it without being rude. Do you know what I'm trying to say though? I don't want to be an asshole.
I'll say it. Lori Cabot.
Okay, you say it.
The official witch of Salem. Yeah, that woman and I tangled pretty hard when I was in Salem. She was walking around wearing tartan, right? A very specific plaid saying this was her family's tartan. And I'm like, woman, that is the tartan of the Scottish Royal Highland Regiment. That is not your family's tartan. That's a military tartan. You dummy. Get that crap off your body. But this is how she does. She portrays for the media. She's in music videos with Godsmack, which made me so sad because I love them. But she is the official witch of Salem. She sells hundreds of books, and her store is full of glitter wands and crap, and man, she used to make me so upset. She also charges thousands of dollars to do classes with her to learn witchcraft. And I'm like, and I would do readings for $20 at our store. She'd do them for 150 for like 10 minutes. I'm like, nah, you don't have a psychic bone in your body. What are you doing? So yeah, I'm calling you out, Lori, right here.
Wow.
Right now. Remember me?
Call them like you see them, girlfriend.
Yeah, but if you're in Salem, go see
Right. I
Bruno.
didn't want to say it, but Awen's like putting the smack down on this broad. She's like,
Yep.
no, let me tell you about this bitch.
I don't like the fake stuff, You're not. On one hand, she did a service for
And that's what,
witchcraft.
I think that's what I was asking. Like, how many, like, I think that was the point of like what I was getting to. Like, how many people are just some fake bitches up there trying to make some coin, taking advantage of people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, clearly not everyone is Wiccan or into this, into the whole, down deep into it. I get that. But that place still attracts all kinds of people.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just wondering, like, how many people are just fake ass bitches,
Yep. It's like, if you look at the stores in Salem, you can tell. If you walk in and everything's glittering, and then you're not in a witchcraft store. You're in a tourist store.
Right.
If you go in a store like we had, where it's just like books and stuff everywhere, and it wasn't pretty.
Primitive.
Right.
It's gonna look primitive.
Yes, it's gonna look real. It looks like my bedroom full of jars of herbs and stuff everywhere, and that kind of
books
thing.
that dusty and old, and
Yep.
And somebody sitting behind there reading a book too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, we had an apothecary in our store. An entire wall of the store was full of jars of different herbs and incense blends. And I would sit there and play mad chemist all day and mix up incenses by grinding the herbs and adding oils. And I was just like crazy mad scientist doing this stuff. And I loved it. But we were the only store in Salem where you could do that back then, and it was great because it was real. We didn't sell glitter wands.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lori Cabot, she did do a lot for witchcraft because she made it popular here in the States. And she did bring a lot of people to Salem. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, what she sold was not authentic. That's not even her real name. And when Scottish witchcraft became popular, all of a sudden she was Scottish. And I was like, woman, your name is Mercedes. You are not Scottish. She is not even remotely Scottish.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. But
Jesus. Well, that's what I'm sorry, but that kind of stuff sells. Mm-hmm. That makes money, and that's what she's about. Yep. And that's just she's a charlatan, or
she's a good businesswoman. But is she a witch?
She's not.
I'd say no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do have one funny story about Salem that I'd like to end with. We were doing a big public circle one weekend. People from all over the country were up there, and we were hosting this big circle on the green. And it started to rain. And I'm like, oh no, I cannot go out in my beautiful new robe in the rain. This is terrible. What kind of nature worshiper am I? I'm afraid of the rain. But Ron said, well, go outside and make it stop raining. You're a witch. And I'm like, all right. Right. So I walked outside the store, really busy street, cars everywhere. And I put my hands up in the air like I was pushing the rain up, and it stopped. And I looked at Ron like, did I just do that? He's like, I don't know. He said, prove that you're a witch. Make a rainbow. And I said, okay. So I swiped my arm across the sky, and there was a double rainbow. I was like, take that.
Shit,
now what?
Shit, dude.
And of course, there were 100 people standing there watching me do this, and I'm like, yeah, and
You're
was-
like,
damn.
Mercedes.
Listen.
Yeah, take that, Mercedes. Yeah.
Listen, yeah. Exactly. Watch out, Mercedes, because it could be. I wish there would be a sinkhole, and she'd fall
Yeah.
in. You just
Oh
go
my
like this,
God.
and it's
That
done.
is hilarious.
That was probably the most amazing moment of my time in
Oh.
Salem because they were all looking at me like, oh, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I just waved my arms around.
Listen, that shit is a book. You better write a book about that shit, girl. I'm telling
Oh,
you, that is fucking amazing. That is
it was just too much fun. It was too good.
That is
Yeah,
freaking.
I don't think I really did that. I'm not saying that, but the coincidence was just too amazing.
Oh no,
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry.
That works.
There is no coincidence in this life that is that precise. Okay, make a rainbow. You get a double one. Bam,
Yep.
bitch. That's
Like, take
Damn,
that,
man.
witches.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was my life in Salem. It was
That's
so much fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks
Oh,
for
wow.
sharing all the information and the fun stories. It's definitely an interesting place. Definitely.
Yep, I strongly suggest
Yeah.
if you're in the area, stop in around Halloween. It's too much fun. So much fun there.
Yeah.
Good
Sounds
ghost
like
story.
it. There's lots of videos and lots of stuff coming out, and it's neat to watch, but I just kind of, I don't know. I'm weird. I'd rather see like the real stuff as opposed to the commercialized stuff. I don't know. I'm just weird like that.
Yep. Well, a lot of the stores do open circles for Samhain, so you can probably get in on one if you're in the area. So it's fun.
Pretty cool. Now, can I ask you a personal question? How are you going to celebrate Samhain?
Well, on Halloween evening, we don't go trick or treating here. Unfortunately, it's not a big thing in this area. But we'll probably watch Halloween Town with the kids, and then when my son's in bed, my husband and I will do just a private little Samhain ceremony thing. It's more just remembering our ancestors, telling those that we love that passed over that we love them and we're thinking about them, just like a memorial type ritual type thing. So that's what you do at Samhain. You mourn those who have passed, you say hello, you send your love, and you make sure that they've all passed into the light. So that's what we'll do.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I love
Find the link.
celebration of the dead. I think that's a great thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's show homage to your ancestors and everything that they've paved the way for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So Dia de las Motores or whatever you say. I can't say it. I'm not Spanish. Yeah, I can't. I wish I could talk like that. I love the way they do. I love everybody's accent. I tell you, but not mine. You betcha.
I love your accent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like yours too, Gail.
Don't
me
you
and my
know?
daughter talk. Listen, me and my daughter go down the street. We're driving, right? Me and Georgia. She's a pip. Most of you have met her. Anyway, she's Lois. No, I'm Lois. No, yeah, she's Lois and I'm Doris or
You're
what?
Dolores.
What? Dolores. So she's going, I told you, Dolores. She's talking in New York accent, and she really can do it good. Okay, we're going down the stair, and she's telling me all this shit. Like this truck goes by, and it says, Mr. Handyman. And she goes, look at that pornography there. They got going on there. She's making jokes of all this stuff, okay? And I'm starting to talk like that. She's rolling down the window, and I can't hear it because I'm going off like this, right? And there's this guys in the van next.
No.
I gotta tell you, it was one of my funniest moments. But when I turned and I seen these guys, oh, I wanted to die. I'm not lying to you. I wanted to die. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, we banter back and forth like that. And I love that. And she can come up with like all the accents, and she speaks different languages too. So, she'll be going off in French or something. And I'm like, huh? I hope that was nice because it sounded pretty.
Yeah, we heard the Lois and Dolores thing while she was doing your makeup. It was really funny.
Oh, did you? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. A lot of fun. We got a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. I don't know. We're kooky. Hey, listen, I cracked
Thanks
myself up.
everyone for hanging out and listening. I appreciate everybody listening to Awen's stories and all the interesting things we've learned. I hope everybody has a great Halloween, nice and safe. However you celebrate it, I hope it's great. So thank you, Awen. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
that's
Thank you,
that.
Awen.
Pleasure. Good to hang out with you guys. I miss you guys. Denise, I didn't
I
hear
miss
from you
you
for
guys
2
too.
days and I was going crazy.
You don't even want to know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just get that way.
I'm
I'm
live
always,
on Thursday. What?
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 Are we planning on doing one? I was thinking about dabbing one on my channel for sure, to tell you the truth. I really would like to just get down and tell some,
Yeah,
like,
because
what's your
I,
scariest
will
movie?
be- well, my son and daughter-in-law have, because they live in this perfect young family subdivision where there's like 8 gajillion children. So like their trick-or-treating is the bomb diggity. But believe it or not, it's supposed to be like right at freezing, and we might see snowflakes on Halloween, which is fucking
man.
bizarre. But I don't
Well,
know what time we would be home for that. But if Linda does something, I would love to join her when I get home, if that's cool. Like, but I just don't know what time, so I couldn't plan anything. So if Linda's planning something, make sure you subscribe to Linda. I think everybody here is, but I want to post it just in case.
Yeah, they're my mods. They're my mods. Every one of them are my mods.
For anyone here that knows Paul, Paul and I are doing a live tomorrow on Facebook. We're doing a Halloween craft because his gingerbread house triggered me so badly that I'm like, we have to redeem you and do a craft that you can handle. So we're doing Halloween luminary jar tomorrow night live.
What's so funny about doing that? What the best part about him doing that is you could totally tell he doesn't have kids, because the first thing, if you buy one of those things, you buy like 3 cans of marshmallow stuff and like some extra icing to make that shit stick together, because it does not even close. Like you have to have tons of extra. And when I watched him open the box, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be good. And I know that was terrible. I'm like, next time you should tell us when you're going shopping so we could like help a brother out.
Yeah, I sent him a whole list of everything to get for the luminary jar. So it should, I even sent him pictures, so it should be good. Perfect. But yeah, I told him his gingerbread house was just one of the ones that got hit by the tornado in Dallas, and that's all. It looked good before. So
I made one once too, but good night. I just got one thing to say. I taped me painting. Okay. I did a 28-minute one, made 6 different paintings, and then I come to load it on my computer, and the 20 some odd minutes of it only showed me introducing the paint that I use, and that was it throughout the whole thing. There was nothing but that on the whole thing. So I don't know what to do. I got so pissed off. I started crying. But I'm going to be investing in like something like a GoPro or something. I have to. I got something coming up that I really need, something like that. So I'm gonna try it again. My daughter kind of showed me what I might have did wrong, or the speed on my computer or on my set on there might have been like really super slow or something, and that's what it was. It took because there was the end thing, but it took like an hour and a half to watch it. Okay, so it was really strange, and I don't know what I did, but I did do it. So I got over that fear, and I will be doing it again. Okay, I'm very sure. It doesn't take long to do.
That's just it. Practice makes perfect. Like you tried it and you're like, all right, this didn't work. What the hell? So at least you did it. So that's a step in the right direction. You'll figure it out. You'll be a pro.
Hey, I tell you what, the paintings were great. Or I did albums actually. They were turned out great. I mean, I was like, hey, and I even liked the way I said it. My mom started talking right in the middle, going, Linda, why are you talking to yourself while you're painting? You know how to do that. Why are you saying what you were doing? I started laughing.
I'm like, who the hell are you talking to?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
So then I had to turn around because she
All
can't
right, kids. We're out of here.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye,
Good night.
guys.
Happy Halloween.
Yep, absolutely. Be safe out